Before we run your offer through the 5-second brand message test, grab my digital product sales system. It's the exact system I use to make sure your product sells before you even finish your pitch. I posted the link in the video description and also as a pinned comment so that you can grab your copy today. So let's talk about the 5-second test. If a complete stranger can't understand who you help, what you help them do, and why it matters within 5 seconds of seeing your page, your brand message is not clear. Most people fail because they lead with vague promises, they have jargon, acronyms, or too many benefits at once. Clarity beats clever every single time. Most brand messages sound fine until someone outside of your circle, someone outside of your bubble reads them. And so that's when the cracks show. You thought you were being clear. You thought your headline explained what you do, but it takes more than 5 seconds for someone to understand who you help, what problem you solve, and why you should care. Now your brand message is failing, not because it's wrong, but because it's slow. And slow kills attention. So you don't go to the Kentucky Derby to watch turtles race, right? You go to watch how fast the fastest horse is going to leave the others in the dust. So it keeps your attention and keeps you on the edge of your seat. So let's talk about how the 5-second test is simple. Show your show your homepage, your about section, or your Instagram bio to someone who knows nothing about your business. And I want you to give them 5 seconds because it's the 5-second test. Then ask them what you do, who you do it for, and what results you help people get. If they hesitate, fumble, or get it wrong, you've got work to do. So your message might sound polished in your head, but if it doesn't land instantly, then it's costing you every single day. Okay? Now, people are skimming, they're scrolling, and they're half paying attention. So if your message isn't laser focused and instantly understandable, they're going to move on. So they don't take the time out to dig deeper. They don't ask follow-up questions. They don't email you to clarify. Boom, they bounce. They're out of there. And you're left wondering why something that felt so well written, so well put together, you're wondering why it's not converting. And the reason why is because clarity beats clever every single time. So your brand message isn't the place to be poetic. It's not the place to be edgy, and it's definitely not the place to be abstract. It's not a slogan. It's not your tagline. It's the short, punchy phrase that tells people exactly what you help them do and why it matters to them. So if it requires context to make sense, it's too vague. If it could apply to 5 different industries, then it's too generic. So if it only resonates with people who already know you and people who are already in your circle, then it's too internal. And the biggest mistake some people make when writing their brand message is writing it for themselves. So you use words that make sense to you. And these can be, it can be jargon, acronyms that you've picked up in your space, acronyms that only matter to your circle, or phrases you've seen other people use. So I want to ask you this. If you had to describe your offer in one sentence right now, could you do it? Okay. Drop it in the comments and I'll tell you if it passes the test. Okay. Now, I may not be able to respond to each and every one, but I will respond to some of those messages. So when your message is clear, your marketing works harder. You waste less time convincing, and you have more time converting, but your buyer isn't living in your head, so they're not in your industry, they're in their pain, they're searching for a solution. And if your message doesn't sound like the answer to what they're already looking for, then it begins to disappear. So you want your messaging to just punch straight through the noise. You want it to just get through the noise, you know? So you want to say something like, I help this person get this result without pain, or whatever pain or frustration. So it doesn't have to follow a formula, but it needs to follow a truth. So what transformation are you offering? What's the problem you solve better than anyone else? And why should someone trust you to do it? Okay. So that's what has to come through immediately. So let's say your message says something like, okay, we're going to say empowering women to rise into their fullest potential. Well, that sounds nice, but it's useless in 5 seconds. No one knows what kind of women, what kind of potential, or how you help them rise. So you see that? So it's like, do you coach them? Do you offer therapy? Are you teaching them business skills or confidence or health? A clearer version might be something like helping women coaches sign their first 5 high ticket clients without ads or overwhelm. Now it's obvious. So there's no guessing. It passes the 5 second test because it hands the reader a result they want. And it hands the reader a result that they want in a way that they understand. So you've made it very clear. So the test also works backwards. We're going to reverse engineer it. So if you strip away your graphics, colors, logo, and visuals, and only show your message, would a stranger still know what you do? Or are you relying on your design to fill in the blanks? Because good branding supports a message, it doesn't carry it. Good branding supports a message, it does not carry it. So if your copy doesn't stand on its own in plain text, it won't hold up under pressure. People buy based on words. Visuals catch the eye, but language makes the sale. So your message also needs to feel true, not just to what you offer, but to how your ideal buyer speaks. And also, if your audience says, get more clients, don't write, generate leads. So if they say, stop stressing about money, don't sit up here and write, create financial abundance. Don't do that, because you want to mirror their words. speak in their language. So your message should sound like something like they would say to a friend, not something you'd say in a strategy meeting, because that's how you create the instant connection. That's how you create that loyal bond and build that trust. So, another sign your brand message isn't clear is if you have to keep explaining it. That's another sign. If people say, "Oh, yeah, that's cool. So, do you mean you help people with content?" After you just explained your positioning, you're not done yet. So the right message stops questions. It eliminates those questions. It clicks. It creates the feeling of, yes, that's what I need. Not, I think I get it. So clarity creates confidence and confidence converts. So you also want to make sure your message is specific enough to be remembered. So generality is forgettable. Helping business owners grow, it means nothing. But if you say helping Etsy shop owners triple their monthly orders with organic Pinterest traffic, now that is unforgettable. Okay. So you can be broad in your strategy, but you need to be specific in your message. And that doesn't mean you're stuck in a niche. It means you're choosing one clear path so people can follow that path. They can follow it and they can follow through. And sometimes the issue isn't the message itself, it's the structure around it. You bury it 3 paragraphs down. You wrap it in poetic language. You make it a sub headline under a massive stock photo. And so I get a little tickled because I've been there and I've done that myself. Okay. So it's like I've been there, done that, right? So your buyer shouldn't have to dig for your message. It should hit them as soon as they land. Front and center. Okay? Front and center. Boom. Okay? First line, first impression. Your message isn't decoration, it is direction. Put that in the comment section. Your message isn't decoration, it is direction. So test your message everywhere. Show it to someone with no context. Drop it in a DM, read it out loud and see how it sounds. So if you feel the urge to explain it, then it's not clear enough. So go back and massage it a little more. So if it sounds generic when you say it out loud, it needs tightening. So you want it to land fast, you want it to land clean, and you want it to land hard. And when it does, you feel it. You feel it. It resonates. And so the people reading it, they'll nod. They'll say, "Oh, wow, that's exactly what I need." That's the moment where connection happens, and connection is what drives sales. This is why connection works. So your brand message isn't a tagline you write once and forget. It's a live part of your business. It should evolve, sharpen, get tighter and truer with every launch, every testimonial, and every discovery call. And every time you test it and it doesn't land in 5 seconds, that's feedback, not failure. Do not confuse feedback with failure. You fix it, try it again, get clearer, because the moment it lands clean, everything else becomes easier. Your ads convert, your emails click, they convert. So sales pages make sense, and people start showing up already half convinced that you're the one they've been looking for. You are the one. You are the solution to their problem. That's what a 5-second message can do. And if yours doesn't do that yet, you know what to do next. If you want my complete framework for crafting a clear, high converting brand message, grab my digital product sales system. The link is in the description, and I also pinned it as a comment so you can grab it today and hit the subscribe bell notification so you don't miss the next quick win strategy. And remember, be a legend.